Tzuji's Jordan medical team holds a free clinic at the Azraq Refugee Camp. We meet two reporters to see what motivates them in going after the truth in journalism. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Tzuji's Jordan medical team has decided to hold a free clinic at Azraq Refugee Camp. They use the refugee camp's administrative office as the venue for the free clinic, providing various services. The ROC representative of Jordan has also gone there to encourage the medical team and express his gratitude towards Tzuji. Under the command of the free clinic leader, the medical staff and city volunteers quickly get ready to serve. At the administrative office of Azraq Refugee Camp, the waiting area has been turned into the dental department, while TCM internal medicine and surgery services are provided in the hallway. At the gynecology services area, covers are added to provide privacy. It has been set up in 20 minutes. The new ROC representative to Jordan has taken a 1.5-hour ride to come and encourage the city free clinic team.
I think the efficiency is amazing. They quickly turned this environment into a mobile hospital. I think such efficiency comes up top of the world. As representative of ROC, we can do everything we can to help out so that the government and civil organizations can work together in more places in the world.
In Jordan, where Arabic is spoken, translation volunteers are needed to help the free clinic run smoothly. They translate Arabic into English or Chinese. To provide the patients with proper treatment, checkups are important. The free clinic team has added ultrasound equipment so that the internal medicine and gynecology doctors can better diagnose illnesses. Nantou Tima doctor Hong Qifeng, whose specialty is treating illness of the elderly, has been worried about a patient whose blood sugar level is too high. Fortunately, the patient receives a blood test in time.
We can only diagnose the more serious illnesses. Today, I've seen patients with slight or more serious illnesses. If her index number is very high, I might suggest her to undergo dialysis treatment.
Tima doctors have transcended boundaries and ethnicity to provide their services. As long as the local residents' health can be safeguarded, they find their time and efforts to be worthwhile. In Singapore, Tzuji's home hospice care team has been caring for an elderly man who has pulmonary failure. The man will celebrate his 50th wedding anniversary in 2 years, but is afraid he might not be able to live to see that day. Therefore, the hospice care team is giving him a celebration ahead of time. They especially invited a photographer to take photos of him and his wife in formal wear. What a special occasion. Mrs. Chua is wearing wedding gown again after 50 years of marriage. Charlie Hogg smiles with joy, looking at his wife who dressed up. 79-year-old Charlie Hogg suffers from pulmonary failure. He will celebrate his golden wedding anniversary in 2 years.
After 50 years, we are getting married again. Originally, I thought we should wear a wedding gown and a suit. Not anymore, since I suffer from illness. I don't need to wear formal attire.
Tzuji's home hospice care team in Singapore has decided to help Mr. Chua fulfill his wish. They turned the living room into a studio and invited a professional photographer. Holding his wife's hand tightly, Mr. Chua is reliving the happy moments.
I feel very good today. It is very special, and I am very happy.
If it was not for the patience of the medical staff who persuaded stubborn Mr. Chua, it might have been impossible to fulfill Mr. Chua's wish. The home hospice care team started to care for Grandpa Chua in January of 2017. In the beginning, he spoke with them using harsh words.
Seeing him sitting on the line chair, I recommended patience back to him. He said fine, but after they delivered the bed, he called me and scolded me. He asked me to take away the bed in half an hour. I almost fainted. When I visited him on the second day, he knew he made a mistake and was feeling guilty. He apologized to me. Yesterday, I was really angry. I said, that is fine. Patients who suffer from illnesses will always need to vent out their frustrations.
She has been taking care of me for more than 1 year. I will cry when mentioning her, as she has done too much for me.
He is very happy that you came to chat with him. Nurse Tan has helped me a lot by speaking good words to me.
I hope my child can attend it. Fortune has fallen upon our family.
The nurses take the grandpa's words to heart. His youngest son and his family have finally arrived. Grandpa can take the photo for the golden wedding, realizing his dream.
I hope to accompany Mr. Chua during his last period in life. This is the mission of us, home hospice care team nurses.
An Indian family in Selangor, Malaysia, faces heavy financial burden since the father had kidney failure in 2014. Fortunately, City volunteers started to care for this family in 2015 by providing financial aid for the 3 children to receive proper education.
The 52-year-old Warade Raju is the breadwinner in the family. However, since he had a kidney failure in 2014, the massive dialysis expenses have become a heavy burden to the family.
That was a very short period. I was desperate. I don't know what to do. That Suchi to help me out.
Tzu started to provide financial aids for the 3 children to receive education since 2015. Recently, the 20-year-old eldest daughter has been accepted into the University of Technology in Malaysia.
I feel fortunate because when you have to suddenly go through so much rapid changes and you don't know what to do next, Zuchi was there as a guiding line for us to stabilize our life and to make sure we get back to the track where we left off.
The family was worried about the eldest daughter's tuition, but Tzu has once again stepped in to help. Volunteers also host a simple celebration feast for her.
We want to give her our encouragements because it's very rare for someone who is self-taught to achieve such an excellent score and get into a top university.
Tzu volunteers hope that the children can receive fine education without worrying about the tuition because it is the best way to be lifted out of poverty.
In July 2017, a massive earthquake struck Leyte province in the Philippines. Thankfully, the Ormoc City mayor and his wife kindly donated a piece of land for Tzu to build 120 prefabricated houses on. Construction began in May, and TCU medical students also went there to help out.
Right next to the newly built prefabricated houses are sheet metal houses built by the earthquake-affected residents from Kananga town. They moved to the land donated by the Ormoc City mayor. However, the housing condition is not ideal. Hence, students from Tzu University came to help, and they can build a prefabricated house within a day.
The prefabricated house is very fast to build, and it's very convenient and suitable to accommodate these earthquake survivors, so they can have a comfortable home soon.
Students join local volunteers and residents to construct the prefabricated houses step by step.
It's my first time to participate in constructing prefabs, and it's not as hard as I imagined, thanks to the help from local residents and volunteers.
Even though we don't have much and we only have limited abilities, I want to express gratitude toward everyone who helped us.
Locals bring over coconut water, sweet potatoes, and steamed banana to show their gratitude. Everyone worked together in hopes that the earthquake-affected residents can have a better living environment as soon as possible.
Journalism continues to be a profession that attracts people who ambitiously chase after societal truth. Today we visit two reporters for Rhythms Monthly. One's a senior staff member who has photographed many media events. The other is a young person who defied his family's expectations to become a journalist.
I feel that I'm a professional print media photographer. The one thing that I often think about is a man of my age in Taiwan and the US. What specialties do they have and what do I need to study?
If journalism aims to reveal the truth, then photojournalists need to keep polishing their skills, not only to make beautiful image, but to reveal a closer look. However, the media environment is constantly evolving.
I have seen my peers now carry video cameras. I see them at news sites and they have to record video and still photos as competition has become more fierce, as the overall environment is not as good as before.
Since the media environment has changed, becoming more intense competition, writers or journalists who don't have many tools available to them must be more diligent.
When I entered this publishing profession, my parents asked why I didn't continue with business management, which I studied in college. They questioned why I went into media.
2 years ago, Lai Yingqi graduated from National Chenji University's MBA program. But he quickly joined this publication as some questioned his decision.
This career path may not lead to a lot of money, but will pay me back in a different way. For example, as a writer, I can interview people from all walks of life and those with different backgrounds to produce different types of stories.
Although his family did not understand his decision at first, Lai Yingqi continued with his writing and discovered a love for literature. He also learned that writing wasn't the only skill he needed, as he also had to draw upon life experience as the nutrients to allow him to produce outstanding work for readers.
I did not talk about educating readers because I don't think I'm qualified in this area. I simply hope that my articles can remind readers that Taiwan has precious people and historical assets that are worthy of attention.
This young writer doesn't dare change the world with his writing. After completing his interview about young people returning home, he goes to an independent bookstore to draw inspiration from these books.
For example, I'm reading this book right now. It talks about skills and concepts associated with writing. I think it's helpful to my writing.
As a journalist, every article should strive for perfection. He regards himself as a brand manager with a strict standard of quality for his work, as Rhythms Monthly is widely distributed.
I think it's interesting to say that Taiwan is theoretically a country with well-developed media, but in fact, There isn't much professionalism when it comes to filming or editing or developing interesting perspectives.
Today's story features 2 staff members of this magazine, one with lots of experience and one just beginning. Both remain totally committed to Rhythms Monthly and will continue to work hard and chase stories for this publication.
Indonesian city volunteers came to Malaysia to visit different city recycling stations. In addition to learning about the management of the stations, the volunteers also learned how to inspire people to do recycling.
Indonesia city volunteers came to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia to visit different city recycling stations.
I want to know how慈济in Malaysia interacts with the communities and how they encourage residents to send resources here and even store recyclables together.
Do not feel discouraged if you do not successfully invite people to do recycling. You should patiently invite them again and again. After all, you become friends. They will feel sorry if they do not keep their promise to come.
City volunteers in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor share their experiences in inviting local residents to do recycling. On this 2-day trip, Indonesia volunteers have learned the characteristics of different recycling stations.
It used to be a place where people threw away garbage, but now it became a place full of blessings. It is a model place which inspires people to walk the Bodhisattva path.
On this trip, I have not only broadened my horizons, but also recharged my energy and spirit.
Volunteers from the 2 countries learn from each other and work together to safeguard the environment.
In China, volunteers in Guangdong and Shanghai make regular visits to different nursing homes. With the love and company of volunteers, the seniors all show bright smiles on their faces as they no longer feel lonely.
Caring for the elderly at the nursing homes, children perform the most popular seaweed dance to entertain them. The fans that the seniors use to cool themselves down are the gift given by Tzu Chi volunteers. The cute patterns on the fans were all painted by Tzu Chi care recipients Yan Chun.
I hope that all the grandpas and grandmas can be healthy and feel happy every day. The older they are, their lives should be more and more colorful.
On one hand, the seniors can be entertained while using the fans. On the other hand, they can also calm their minds with the printed Jingzi aphorisms.
Upon receiving the fan, one grandmother expressed her gratitude to Yan Chun's kindness on behalf of all the nursing home residents.
You worked so hard. We want to thank you for painting so many fans for us.
The volunteers also headed to Shenzhen, Guangdong. They brought flowers, allowing the seniors to find back their youthful enthusiasm.
For many of them, flower arrangement activities was their first time. I saw that the seniors were full of joy and they showed bright smiles on their faces. They all felt a sense of accomplishment.
As soon as Mr. Wang finished arranging the flowers, he hurried to bring the finished products back to his room. He was eager to give it to his wife as a recovery gift to cheer her up. Volunteers make regular visits to care for the seniors of various nursing homes. They spend the happy times with the elderly through peaceful and harmonious interactions.
Many people like to eat bread, especially the freshly baked ones. However, the internet has long been spreading rumors about freshly baked bread, such as it contains a lot of carbon dioxide, it can easily cause bloating, and how the yeast in the bread will cause the GI tract to hurt. In response to these statements, the professional bakers have debunked these rumors with actual demonstrations.
The steaming bread gives off an irresistible smell. Many times it is already being sold as soon as it comes out of the oven.
Many times, people are rushing to head to work, and that's also the same time when the bread is being taken out of the ovens. That's why many don't even wait until they cool down before buying it.
The words freshly baked have a very strong appeal.
It's because it smells so good when it's freshly baked, just pulled out of the oven. The taste and texture are the best. If it's a day old, there's a huge difference.
Because the taste and texture are better, it's just a lot more delicious this way.
There have been many internet rumors that have been spread about freshly baked bread. It states that there are many accumulated carbon dioxide and yeast fermentation. Even concerns over how yeast will ferment in the GI tract, causing acid reflux issues. These statements are not credible.
In fact, during the bread baking process, the yeast has already been killed off by the high temperature.
The yeast is used to ferment the dough, and that produces carbon dioxide in the process. However, a senior baker demonstrates that through the steps of kneading, cutting, and constantly turning the dough, the gluten is increased. When this happens, it generates an inner support force. Generally speaking, when the bread is baked, traces of carbon dioxide can barely be found, and the yeast will lose its original properties when it is above 60 degrees Celsius.
The mixture is very afraid of temperature extremes. If the temperature is too low, like 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, it will freeze and not be workable. If you give it 60 to 70 degrees Celsius of hot water, it will also be destroyed by the high temperature.
One must be aware of the caloric intake when eating different types of bread. The sweet-tasting bread like buttermilk, pineapple, and Danish are all on the higher end.
Especially the Danish bread, it has a filling. The dough itself is already oily, and adding on the filling, the calories will be particularly high. As for the buttermilk filling, it contains a lot of butter, sugar, and milk powder.
When the bread is made out of whole grains, it's better for the body.
In addition, the night markets are full of different varieties of bread, but many add artificial flavors to attract customers. Not only is the fermentation time longer, the sizes are bigger too. Although it helps to sell the product, it is relatively easy for the bread to turn bad. There are a ton of bread varieties, so when consumers buy, they should pay more attention in order to safeguard their health.
In Taichung, most of the adults from DaAi have to work, leaving their children and their parents behind. As a result, many children go to school hungry. Sympathizing with the children, the borough chief Wang Shenyuan launched a pay-it-forward meal program, inviting breakfast and bento shop owners to help feed the underprivileged children.
During lunchtime, a local impoverished family came to the bento shop. The shop owner served them a full dish, preventing them from going hungry.
I am very grateful because the children can have enough nutrition. It also helps reduce our financial burden. Thank you very much.
Xiaoting, who is now a 7th grader, came to get a bento to share with his homebound grandfather.
This helps reduce Grandpa and Grandma's financial burden. I want to thank the borough chief.
The person who launched this pay-it-forward meal program is the borough chief Wang Shenyuan. He discovered that there were many children from low-income families going to school hungry.
They would go to school without eating breakfast. They usually drink water, whether they feel hungry. Children from low-income families really need our help.
This program has been implemented for 6 years now. Not only breakfast shops, but bento shops have also joined in the efforts to help the children who are in need.
I can't bear to see them suffering. Our hearts go out to them because we also lived a very hard life in the past, so we usually give them more.
The borough chief said that more people need to join the program to help the underprivileged children. Thanks to teamwork, each meal is filled with everyone's love.
Students from TCU's Department of Child Development and Family Studies volunteer in Malaysia's Penang City Kindergarten for 2 weeks. While there, they encounter different challenges, including the classes being suspended due to a spread of intestinal virus. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.